Welcome, everybody. John Zager. Good morning. Hope everyone is well. Thursday morning. I guess it's about 8 o'clock here, Colorado time. And wanted to continue our work on energy centers in our body and eventually working towards being able to do some very specific kinds of energy work through meditation. And that's kind of what we're working for. Let's see. Where did we go with this? Okay, so we did the first three. If you remember, I think it was the day before yesterday. And we did the root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plex chakra. And so today we'll do a couple more. We're going to do heart. And again, remember, chakra is one term, energy center is another term, and they're both the same thing. When you listen to Dr. Joe, he doesn't use those words. He just uses energy center, 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. So the heart chakra, which is, again, love, relationships, compassion, and self-acceptance, located along your spine, right in the center of your chest, next to your physical heart. It deals with issues of love, compassion, and belonging. Physically, it supports your heart, your lungs, your upper torso, shoulders, and hands. Okay? And then it goes on to talk about, the heart chakra may be weak if you are guarded and closed to rarely allow yourself to open up to others. If you sabotage your relationships with distrust and anger. If you are unable to let a situation rest because it didn't go your way. If you are clingy and needy in relationships and anxious that your partner doesn't need you as much as you need them. If you experience heart disorders, chest pains, asthma, allergies, circulation problems. And again, we talked the other day, there's lots of different research out there, and they're not all identical. When we're talking about the heart chakra, let's see, that people have most of their problems with, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the fifth one down of 7. Only 18% of people, according to this particular research anyway, only 18% of people have issues with heart chakra. And this guy here goes on to say, I am giving and receiving love effortlessly and unconditionally. And he says the purpose is love, joy, and inner peace. Right? The other one we talked about with the other three is the cosmic energy for the heart. Deals with love, of course. And if it's blocked, it's because of grief. Think about that for a minute. Grief would be possibly you've lost someone. Okay, so that could block it. Down here, fears and chakras. It goes on to talk about the heart. You have a fear to love. I don't believe in it. Fear of giving and being betrayed in return. An uncontrolled self-criticism. Heart chakra is really a big one in my mind. Here's the last one. We've been referencing to 3 or 4 different ones each time we do an energy center. This is the last one anyway that I wanted to reference to here. So on the heart chakra, they're saying it's blocked with a lack of empathy, being bitter, hateful. You have trust issues, and intolerant. It's balanced if you're peaceful, loving, compassionate, tolerant, warm, and open. And it's overactive if you're jealous, codependent, self-sacrificing, and you give too much. Pretty interesting, huh? So again, what we're trying to do, and I hope you guys practice this stuff on the first 3 from the other day, is to try to get in touch with each energy center and try to determine if it's open or closed. Remember? Remember that was your assignment? Oh, golly. I got coffee from a different place today. They had a variety of different flavors, types of coffee. You know what the problem is, though? It's still cold. Okay, so the next energy center we want to work on is the throat chakra, which is communication and self-expression, right? Located right in the center of your throat. It deals with issues of honesty, integrity, truth, expression, communication. Physically, it supports your neck, jaw, teeth, gums, mouth, lower sinuses, throat, and thyroid gland. Remember how we talked about that the other day, that each of the energy centers seems to concentrate and focus on the organs in that particular area. Your throat chakra may be weak if you are often afraid to speak up and voice your opinions around others. If you settle with following other people's opinions, if you are likely to be the quiet one in your profession and social circles, professional and social circles. If you experience sore throats, swollen glands, sinus problems, disorders of the throat, mouth, teeth, or gums. I like that guy's deal there. His is always pretty clear. Throat chakra is the second most energy center that people have problems with. 24% of people. And here I am speaking clearly and truthfully with grace and ease. Things just flow naturally there. The purpose is communication and self-expression. And then down here on this other one we've been doing, the throat chakra deals with insight. Is that right? No, I take that back. It's saying that the throat chakra deals with truth and is blocked if there's lies in your life somewhere. And of course that one would make good sense. Throat down here, fear to show your creativity to the world, feeling of unexpressed emotions and feelings. Fear to express yourself fully. Boy, talk about reasons to go into therapy. Huh. All these energy centers just directly relate to emotions, huh? So, low self-esteem, powerlessness, inferiority complex. If it's balanced, you're confident, feel in control, personal power, drive, good self-image. If not, if you're overreactive, power-hungry, domineering, perfectionistic, and critical. A lot of this stuff just is common sense. I mean, it's a science, but, it's on the outer peripheral of science anyway. It still relates in the quantum concept. So we have 2 left. We might as well do those today. The last 2. So the one we're on now is third eye chakra. And I like this one. Intuition. Sense of purpose and direction in life. Can't you just tell people when you run across them if they have those kinds of characteristics? Locate it right in the center of your forehead and deals with intuition, your sense of purpose and direction in life. Physically, it supports your upper frontal sinuses, eyes, ears, and the outer layers of your brain. It may be weak if you feel lost when it comes to having a sense of purpose in life. Go to therapy. It may be weak if you are indecisive, uncommitted, and unconfident of decisions you make. It may be weak if you have an active imagination, but not in a good way, as you spend much of your day in analytical thinking. You're always processing, picking things apart. And if you experience headaches and a feeling of tension in your brow area. What did they say about third eye is 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth one down in problem areas with people. 20% of people have issues with it. Third eye, I am turned into the divine to follow the path toward my purpose. Ability to think and make decisions. And then down with this guy. Okay, this is the one that deals with insight. And it's blocked if you have issues with illusions. Life is like an illusion. I can see that a little bit. Throat. Fear to show your creativity to the world. Feeling of unexpressed emotions and feelings. Fear to express yourself fully. That's throat. Yeah, similar to some of the others, huh? Fear to trust your heart is also throat. And then when we get into what blocks it, poor judgment, lacks focus, poor imagination, can't see beyond the physical. Newtonian kind of person, huh? And if it's balanced, you're imaginative, intuitive, clear thoughts and vision, sees beyond the physical, quantum. And if you're overactive, you have nightmares, delusions. There's the illusion part. Hallucinations, obsessive, see too many spirits. And the last one of the energy centers, we're just touching on them. We're not building a missile to go into outer space, but the crown chakra, and that's your connection to the divine. Located at the crown of your head, it deals with your connection to the divine within you and all around you. Physically, it supports the central nervous system and deep brain functions. It can be weak if you feel disconnected to a higher power. Your feeling of loneliness and insignificance are stuck in an unfulfilling and unrewarding career, have a strong attachment to possessions and relationships, and define yourself by what you have. And of course, migraines and tension, headaches would go hand in hand with that one. Some of these are, when I was in the early days of doing psychology, I was learning about personality disorders and personality traits, and the thing that you learn is that you have a little bit of everything. Crown chakra. I am one with a higher self and one with the divine. Connection to spirituality. And cosmic is energy with your crown chakra, and it's blocked by ego attachment issues. Fears and chakras with your crown chakra, fear of spiritual guidance. Boy, whoa, that one really hits right home, doesn't it? How many people kind of indirectly talk about that one? And then it's blocked. Let's see if I get it right here. Depression, learning difficulties, weak faith, anger at divine, brain fog. It's balanced if you have a strong faith, universal love, intelligent, aware, wise, understanding. And it's overactive if you're dogmatic, judgmental, spiritual, addiction, issues, and ungrounded. Just makes good sense, doesn't it? So those are the 7 chakras or energy centers. And again, all I did is I just picked out a very little bit of research and kind of reference to 3 or 4 of them. Kind of give you a cross section of that. Here's what we want to do: is we want to start meditating on our energy centers. I've been working on the bottom 3, not for any particular reason. I just kind of want to follow the flow of the energy up from earth and through my body. And I'm trying to identify, where some of these blocks may or may not be in my body. So I'm spending, I don't know, last night, I'm doing my energy center work at night before I fall asleep, but I probably spent an hour on those 3 energy centers last night, I think. And then I did some other meditation just around, the benefits of meditation on the body. But maybe if you could move on into a couple more today and tomorrow. Today's Thursday. Yeah, and then maybe Friday try to finish up if you got 1 or 2 left. Meditate on a couple today and a couple tomorrow. And then you'll be done with the 7. And then we want to take it a step further and try to open up the ones that are blocked. So we will get into a conversation around, as we touched on today, but, the ones that are blocked and the reasons that they're blocked. If you go on the internet, you can find a fair amount of research about those. And I think it's fine. Just in reference, starting, at the bottom, fear for the first one, guilt for the second, shame for the third. Those all make perfectly good sense with energy centers 1, 2, and 3 and how they can be blocked. Now just remember, we're talking about survival, pleasure, and willpower in 1, 2, and 3, and the blocks are fear, guilt, and shame. The other 2, obviously heart is love, grief is the block, your throat is truth, and lies would be the block. Real obvious kinds of answers, right? But again, when you're meditating, it allows you to go right to that source and you can kind of identify it or not. If you have some grief or if you have some lies happening in your life. The other part about lies, it's kind of funny. I've mentioned this one before, but as you get older, 50% of what you say is not true. Oh, golly. Don't ever pay for anything, advice from an old person, right? Because 50% of it probably isn't even accurate. I hate to say it, but I probably am guilty to some of that. Let's see, third eye is insight and illusion. That one makes sense. And energy on the crown chakra and ego attachment. Ego just destroys everything. So, anyway, that's kind of where I wanted to go today. Not a long podcast or anything, but just maybe finishing up those energy centers. Very important work we have to do. Let's see. Still trying to get people for my meditation group. I've decided I'm going to do 6 sessions and then turn the group over to people. I'm going to do education, training, and meditation. I've been working on different scripts for different meditations that I would like to do in the group each time. And so I'm getting fairly organized with that. I'm looking for some workshops to do. I don't know, maybe little half-day workshops. Full day's okay with me too. Maybe not so much big numbers, but smaller groups, more intimate, and where we can have a lot more interaction. and willing to come and speak. If anybody has an interest in having me come and present a little information around self-healing and meditations, neuroscience, neurophysiology, just stuff like that. How we think ourselves sick and how we think ourselves well, conversations about that. How we learn to upregulate and downregulate genes. There's a lot of things that are real beneficial. Now, all that stuff can also be in consultation. I mean, if you are a small group of people and you all want to pool your money together, I mean, it's not real expensive. I'm probably the cheapest one out there, but, give me a holler and we'll do some consultation with, 3-4 people. Kind of collectively get together and get some of this stuff started for folks. Obviously, I'm always looking for more people to coach. And if you have a need for that, that would be great. I got off of the tangent. I know I was on it for about a week or 10 days about how people are not seeking out help. And I pay attention to that every day in what I do and how I interact with different people and stuff. And everybody seems to have their own answer and their own program and their own lives. And they just sort of dismiss the whole concept of disease. And when I listen carefully, it seems like, how would I say it? Disease is just stuff that happens to humans. And I believe that there's a lot of folks out there who just see it as genetics. And of course, they're living in a Newtonian model of cause and effect. And, that whole concept of quantum physics just is, I don't know if it's over people's head or it's just not real to a lot of people. Man, I see people not well, but they just kind of push forward and are not open to considering other options on how they get sick and how they get well. Anyway, I continue to work on. God bless everybody. Have a great day. Take care of one another, and I look forward to talking to you all again real soon. Thank you. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.